Okay, hi everybody. So this is my first time making a video ever, so bear with me, but I wanted to show you how I make homemade Larabars. So what you're going to need is dates. I have medjool choice dates, but you can also get fancy dates, and then your Larabars will be a little bit sweeter, but they're more expensive. And you can also buy them pitted, but I'm going to show you how to pit them. And then you also need cashews, which I buy in bulk in the pieces because they're cheaper as well. So basically you're going to need about twice as many dates as you have cashews. And then to pit a date, basically they come like this. They look like prunes, excuse me. And you're just going to run a knife around them like you would an avocado. So you run the knife around them and you open it up, and then you'll get the pit. It looks a little bit like a pecan, and you don't want to eat that. It's gross. So that's it. Then you have your pitted date, and and you can measure those out. So I have pitted almost all of my dates except for two. So I'm going to pit the last one and put them in my measuring cup. This is 1 cup. So it's a hefty 1 cup, but you want like a little bit more than twice as much, I guess. So I dump those into my food processor, and I already had a cup in there, so I'm going to measure out a cup of cashew pieces. Or a hefty cup. Oops, that's about right, maybe a few more. It's not going to hurt. So that's it for that, and then you also need a dash of salt. So just like a pinch, it helps bring out the flavor. And then you can also add other things, like you can add vanilla, you can add cinnamon, you can use other combinations of fruit, dried fruit and nuts, but these are my fiance's favorite, just the cashew and dates. It's Larabars, it's the cashew cookie bar, it's the same ingredients. So basically you're gonna give this a whir in your food processor. I have like a hefty one because I'm a baker, you guys probably know, but I'm going to just pulse this until it kind of becomes a paste. So I'm going to pause it and come back to you when it becomes a paste. Okay, so where we're at right now, it's kind of like chopped nuts, and it still hasn't quite ground finely enough, so you want to keep going until it looks like, if you've ever seen a Larabar, where it's really, the nuts are really, really finely ground. And it probably will take a while. Sometimes if you don't have a really strong food processor, it might give you a hard time, but just keep going. So it's getting there, but it needs to be pulsed a few more times, so I will be back. Okay, so you want to stop before it becomes nut butter, obviously, but this has gotten to a pretty good consistency. It's almost like Play-Doh, so see, if I press it around, it forms with my finger, and that's about right. And you can also give it a taste. It doesn't need to be baked or anything, so that's about right. And it's warm because my food processor was working on overdrive, but that's pretty much it. So it's really good. So now I am going to get out some saran wrap and my muffin tin, and I'll show you how I form them. Okay, so basically you can either press this mixture into like a square baking dish, which is one way of doing it, but what I do to make it easier and all equally sized is I just take my muffin tin, don't mind, it's very loved because I bake a lot, and just a little piece of saran wrap. I can't even show you what I'm doing, and you just line one of your muffin tins with saran wrap like that, and then you take a ball of the mixture. If you want to, if you have like a scooper or something, it makes them all evenly sized, or you can just wing it, but I have a scooper and it's a little bit less messy. So, so I take a scoop of the mixture and I just press it into the muffin tin like that, and cover it up with the saran wrap and press it down some more, like that, and you are good to go. Now you have a little mini Larabar that's all portable and ready to take with you. So I'm going to finish the rest of these and I'll be back. Okay, so here's the finished product. I got out of 0.8 pounds of dates and a cup of cashew pieces. I got 10 Larabars, so that comes out to about 68 cents a bar. And if you were to buy them in the store, it would be about $1.25. So you're definitely saving some money, plus you're making them yourself and you're saving on packaging. These will keep in the fridge for like 2 weeks, or you can also freeze them. They freeze really well too. And then, I don't think I said this before, but I use toasted cashews because I like how they taste better, but you can definitely use raw if you're on a raw diet. Or like I said, you can use any other combination of nuts and dried fruit. So I hope that this was helpful, and go make Larabars. They're really good.